After a more than 3-year public saga, the criminal case against former Mount Carmel Dr. William HUSEL now over. Charged with 14 counts of murder, accused of intentionally giving patients lethal doses of painkillers, Dr. HUSEL was found not guilty on all counts. The defense argued the doctor was providing comfort care. The prosecution argued he knew what he was doing. Digital anchor Christine Varconi has been documenting this case on NBC4i.com since we first learned about the murder allegations against HUSEL. That was in January of 2019.
She joins us now for a look back at how we got here, Christine.
Brad and Jennifer, the relief was palpable as HUSEL and his defense attorney cried when he was acquitted of all 14 charges this morning at the Franklin County Courthouse. So the allegations, they all came to light back in 2019, but this case starts more than 7 years ago in 2015. Now, from 2015 to 2018, patients in HUSEL's care died after medical procedures in which he ordered what some thought had been high amounts of painkillers. Accusations from some of his colleagues at the hospital about that started in 2018. Later that same year, Mount Carmel fired HUSEL and notified the then Franklin County prosecutor Ron O'Brien's office and the State Medical Board of Ohio of his actions. Now that brings us to the public portion of the case, which we have laid out for you here in this story over on NBC4i.com. You can see it starts, like I said, in 2015. And then in January 14th of 2019, the allegations, they became public when one of HUSEL's patients' families files a wrongful death lawsuit. You can scroll through here and see that. Lawsuits against him and then Mount Carmel, as well as the parent company Trinity Health Systems. 9 days later, the State Medical Board of Ohio then suspends his license, and the number of similar family lawsuits grew into the dozens throughout the winter, spring, and summer of that year before HUSEL is officially charged with 25 counts of murder, and then he turns himself into police, where he's booked into jail, where he stays for 2 days before bonding out on June 7th of 2019. A few more notable steps take place that summer into the end of 2019. The Mount Carmel CEO, he resigns. 23 Mount Carmel employees are fired, including the original whistleblower pharmacist. And then HUSEL hires famous defense attorney Jose Baez. That's when the pandemic hits, and then there's a 2-year gap. Nothing really takes place in the public in 2020 and then 2021. That brings us to 2022, when things really ramped up ahead of the trial. Most notably, 11 of those original 25 murder charges, they are dropped, and then the trial officially begins on February 14th. Now, the trial begins, we hear from dozens of witnesses before the jury starts their 5-day deliberation process. Our Dan Perlman, who has followed this case every single step of the way, asked defense attorney Diane Menashe about that timeline today.
How could you describe the last 3+ years for him?
No words to that, right? I hope that right now William is starting to get his life back. And truly, like, my tears of joy were for William, and had nothing to do with me or Jose or the team or even what a win means professionally. It is what a day for William HUSEL that he can start to get his life back. And you know what? Every day during these deliberations, he's had to say goodbye to his daughters, because of course we had to advise him if it was a guilty verdict, he'd likely be taken in custody. And the fact that he's had to do that all of these days, and tonight he can go home, and tomorrow he wakes up and there is no goodbye, it's an incredible thing.
Again, you can find the full timeline of the case as well as full interviews from Menashe, Jose Baez, and the patient's family's attorney in this story on NBC4i.com. Brad and Jennifer.
Christine, thank you.